Okay. So what I'm showing right now is me without giving my first impression. The script I gotta go by off rip. You get what I'm saying? All this information. You feel me? What to look up now? So now that we got that established, as he talks, yeah, and then right when I was about to say as he talks, so you know y'all choose your battles.
Just kind of getting it out there for those who like to check the roster.
And I don't want to say I deleted, you feel me, I exited out of them in a particular order. But me exiting out of is how I do want my Sky Vision organized. So, like I said, all that I just showed is what people pertain me to without me saying anything. So Detective Webpoolz talks because that becomes premeditated threats and coercion, criminal activity. But then people start acting like villains. I would have got away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids. And start elaborating on knowing the only reason why I brought up the subject is because it correlates. And that wasn't a threat to bring up the subject, but people not wanting to stop their criminal activity going to say, yes, it was. So that being said, I want to make this video because I feel like I finally got to the teacher mode. I think I said it in a couple videos, but I got to teacher mode where I'm troubleshooting life. You feel me? Like other people troubleshooting in general. I'm troubleshooting however the scale, how big the scale is. Can't put it on the scale or whatever. Life, and now I can get to what I want to say is the equilibrium. I can make an equilibrium of how the world really works. You feel me? I can explain chronologically how the world works with math and etc. So the first thing I want to do after showing how my train of thought works, yellow page wise, is make an equation so we can understand why, you know, you might be like, oh, rumor has it's like this, but we know it's not like that. Even though some shits can correlate, we know it doesn't really go like that. So, that being said, the problem is people are approaching you acting like it goes like that, and that's just called a pseudo minority. But then when it comes past, you've been able to defend yourself, you feel me, with the jurisdiction that's called a pseudo majority. So that being said, because, you know, war gave every individual free will not to be bullied into, you know, respect, and people was spoiled and turned that hospitality into a drug. But like I said, the first equation I want to put down is ancestral time I almost did that wrong, but we gonna fix it. So no, I think they're right. Well, yeah, okay. But I'm improvising as I talk, but I know what I want to teach y'all as the bubble. So the bubble of right and reverse tesseract, classes in session. I should have been the tech though. So ancestral time minus yellow pages information. It's like how I said the energy of what I wanted to say equals backbone of the truth. So talking, and I speak my slang, or if we can imagine with someone be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Ancestral time minus yellow pages equals backbone of the truth. Okay, so that being said, we're in a world full of yellow pages. We're in a world run by yellow pages. We're in a world like school. You feel me? Zoo is school where, ancestral time minus yellow pages information equals backbone of truth. So people go off yellow pages information and then they just live and do that forever instead of, because the world's free will, and then say they understand life because there's nothing to life. Mythology type shit. So that being said, next, the number one thing to know, as like I'm trying to make the backbone of the truth equilibrium, is no gravity to gravity. So the best thing about me saying being a troubleshooter, me talking about no gravity to gravity and troubleshooting whatever I'm about to say about gravity, even because like I'm saying, all my other videos was me troubleshooting, loading to be able to speak fluently and not the stereotypical opinion of someone else's world. Fluent. So this is, like I said, the other videos is really me troubleshooting my voice type vlogs and to the information out that's just not getting out because of yellow pages, which means it's out, but not having a hospitality to be respected. So that being said, we got to understand what no gravity and gravity is, okay? So they say we're in gravity. Okay, being in gravity from ancestral time minus yellow pages information equals this energy, okay? So when they say gravity is this, that, you just subtract it's that simple. So I'm making this video because it's just like the atmosphere from gravity to no gravity is serious. Because as I get up, I'm gonna do exactly what I want. But the atmosphere from no gravity and gravity You know what I'm saying? Where I was talking about like the first impression. That's how my head works and how my word bank comes from. So now, you know what I'm saying? I got up. What should I do? Okay. So that being said, because no gravity to gravity is space. You feel me? Is the understanding of space and tesseracts. So, you know, why I didn't get up and do anything was because of telepathy. Okay? So, I had posted something and I said, the walls have ears and people are not going to listen to the soundproof. I probably didn't say it exactly like this, but in the end, it still gives the emphasis of what I'm trying to say. People are not going to listen to the soundproof things. You feel me? They're not going to admit the walls have ears if whatever you say is soundproof. And that's the battleships of the world. So, you feel me? As a kid, or in general, a kid can rank up. And people is like, oh yeah, I'll let them rank up. That's not play fire. You gonna burn yourself. So I want to laugh with the people. You feel me? That's how people think. So you feel me? I'm thinking about being a number one prospect. Oh, I'll let him be a number one prospect. That nigga, the generation he gonna bleed and don't tackle right, so he gonna hurt himself. You know what I'm saying? Those little things, you feel me? The walls have ears, telepathy is real. So natural disaster-wise, everybody talks about the world being concrete, but don't understand if someone has an alibi to lie, the world's abstract. Because like I was saying about abstract and telepathy, why I didn't move and why I don't remember what I'm about to say. Because obviously I do. But ancestral time, I had yellow pages, information, with the background truth. So I just, you know, sarcasm it out. We get, you feel me? We get older and we understand that people aren't mature, but then it's just like that's been understood but the foundation to build to get away from immaturity. That's where mythologies come in. You feel me? Every mythology is the building of maturity from some immaturity, protagonist or antagonist, to get away from saying evil or bad. You feel me? For its mythology still need to be cleaned up. You feel me? So that being said, I can be like, coach likes when I do this, coach like when I do that, coach like when I do this, you feel me? Or I can practice all day in the league, you feel me? But now when it's time to goddamn whack-a-mole of the walls have ears, my teammates are, you feel me, saying that's too soundproof for me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, you know, someone can go 10 for 10 in practice and then go 1 for 10 in the game because they don't listen to what you have that's soundproof unless they're trying to get out of a predicament, and that's, you know, how they, you feel me, out of fear. So that's the whole scenario, Sinatra, problem, cinematic, coercion, threat, and all of that. It's just, it's an understanding that if a kid built accolades, if they wanted to go to their accolades, they had to set up bets. They had to not soundproof certain things. You feel me? So that being said, we can talk about the world being a rabbit hole now. Because you feel me? That's the type of, I'm just trying to give a extracurriculum type information type thing. Like, not nothing on a direct subject, but to the subject. So rabbit hole. Now rabbit hole is people know a rabbit hole, but the metaphor, the understanding of a void of why it's used other than, they talking about a rabbit's hole. It is the understanding of time wrapping itself. The wrapping of time is a rabbit hole. Because that's what makes time a stopwatch. Back in the stopwatch preset. And so a rabbit hole, and rabbit holes don't just deal with time. But there's always going to be a medium like time, which makes the rabbit hole. So that being said, how the world came about from whatever soundproof, because obviously in real year one, like I said, there can be times so the multi-dimensional year ones, and obviously, yeah, that rabbit hole. You get a situation where it needs to be understood. Why does this person have a one-up on me? And why, when I try so hard, I just can't get better? Okay? So that goes with understanding what dimensions mean, or layers or levels or forms. Okay? It's like spirituality, metaphysical, mental, all of that, you feel me? Everything pertains to having that all adjacent to each other in a rabbit hole of understanding. Because if you was conscious on your forefathers, your ancestors was your rabbit hole before the no gravity and a gravitational limiter making oxygen be able to, an ETC, so we can stay here. So that, you feel me, we can thank God for that, obviously. So, because the Bible says it, which I always tell people, the Bible is God's military book. So that being said, it's not that people either, if you can sense their power level type shit, if you can sense how you can get over on somebody, but not on a multi-dimensional level, I'm telling you, feel me? Probably just understanding tendencies. But for some reason, it's just like they one up and shit, and it's not because they're instinctual. That's the rabbit hole. That means they was conscious on their forefathers, and they played your ancestral family before or something, and they know the story behind. And that's why I say don't own any of the lease, because they know the story behind that ancestor, the ancestor that was king, or the descendant that was Harry Potter and got their hair in this and then became king, or vice versa type shit, like the ancestor invented but couldn't get to the shit unless it went to a rabbit hole and fell to him like a hair. So that being said, how the military is set up, as we was watching their emotions, and it's goddamn almost 20 minutes. Well, yeah, 20 minutes in with that type of ridiculing of battleships because it's soundproof. Well, it's been soundproof, and they didn't think the Mafia karma would come up for it or whatever. Like I was talking about, in year one, the military was the Power Rangers. You feel me? Was the Rangers. You know what I'm saying? That's when authority was known as the Rangers, because when authority was known as the cops, they were swordsmen. So it's people in video games because they don't got swords. But yeah, because y'all don't know nothing about level 1, level 2. So people on level 2 is watching the real Zozzi's backs. So that being said, those are cops, hashtag fire cops help type shit. How these people got in their position is year one, those Rangers and all of that. So, movies started explaining that symbolism, and in the Alien movies was when the atmosphere said ancestors was coming back, and their parents, you feel me, their kid that was their parent or vice versa. They didn't heard 1933 United States went bankrupt, so they was like, the fuck is a license plate? So that's where Alien movies came from. You feel me? If you learn the trivia of that, and I unlocked the trivia of all things. So that being said, year one was Rangers. People thought it was cool. Like, oh my God, Michael, so they tried to jump on stage. They couldn't jump on stage, so they knew they had to do it at the right time. The right time is not when security's on stage. The right time is not when Michael was on stage. The right time is before Michael was Michael Jackson. So that being said, now people was making songs like "Ooh Up" or some shit, and got to, you feel me? It's just, and now you feel me? They got to say what's up to Michael because Michael Jackson has a different job because he only became an artist to inspire kids, and the inspiration was there. So to show you how multidimensional comes in with Rabbit Hole. Oh damn! I ran out of leg or something. Multi-dimension. So that being said, as we got to establish, ancestral timeline is yellow page information equals the backbone of the truth. No gravity. To gravity is a tesseract of understanding. Telepathy is the communication of the crown chakra. So, like I said, what I was saying earlier about why I didn't move because of telepathy. So, say I'm working somewhere and my crown chakra says, if you put up that pizza, they're going to say, all right, time to think about his pockets. And then when you put up that, all right, time to think about how much money is in his pockets. And then, you feel me? So my crown chakra is saying, don't do that. You feel me? But because that's soundproof, no one, you feel me? Since that's common law, and we don't understand thou should not kill, steal, you feel me? Normal on the common sense, you feel me? That's soundproof, so they're not gonna say they heard or comprehend that. They're going to play dumb. And then it's going to be a whole nother situation. So now my crown chakra is telling me that's not the linear. You feel me? So now the king is going to the queen or the king and telling them that's not the linear. So now instead of them saying, oh yeah, what's wrong type shit, type reading energy, oh yeah, okay, I understand, it's not the, they say, this is war. You feel me? Off the telepathy of crown chakras or wherever their crown chakra is. You feel me? Because I got a lot of chakra. But yeah, so you know, that being said, that's what made Sasuke the truth, because he had a lot. You feel me? So that being said, that's what made Sasuke the truth. But yeah, okay. So that being said, yeah. So you know, that's where mirages come in, because your root chakra is protected by your crown chakra, and your root chakra is protecting where your crown chakra might travel. So if your crown chakra is getting disrespected, you get what I'm saying? Telepathy, if you want to unlock telepathy, then you feel me, your other chakras have to, you feel me, just like a corporation, go into explaining the situation, which puts your crown chakra in a mirage, or makes you have to take your crown off to keep it safe. So people try to make you take your crown off all the time without keeping it safe type shit. So that being said, that's how it gets to the point people say you're stuck at your root chakra, because you feel me, their crown chakra told them that's not right. You feel me? The map, you feel me? Astro minus yellow page information equals back on the truth. That's not right, and karma is not going to be on your side. But then the other person with their crown chakra, you feel me, with their telepathy, don't want to take that as you staring at them talking. So they be a blood clot. Then that puts them at their root chakra. You get what I'm saying? So now you at your crown chakra, and they sway on mirage because you have to be a doctor or a hospital. You have to do some type of hospitality to put in a verbal treaty, like that's adjacent to the Morocco peace treaty, so you guys can chill again on your crown chakra. And then they have, you feel me, the Morocco peace treaty explains the whole understanding of mindsets and shit like that. But so now they stuck, not understanding they can get hospitalized again. So now you after you just got them out of RP center type shit, just heard it in the air. But after you got them and they back on their crown chakra, they're forgetting, like, they haven't been there. Like, you've been landing the place over and over again. So now they over here like, oh, hey. And then they forgetting you got more responsibility. So now they might go back to their root chakra. You know what I'm saying? Just because they know you're about to come with something on your crown chakra they didn't know. So now they on their root chakra. You gotta and that just keep going on. And then they keep going to root chakra. They're like, damn, he's been on his crown chakra so long. He need to go to his root chakra. Not knowing that just puts them in their root. That doesn't stop the person that was in their crown chakra from going in. You feel me? So then they're like, well, I get irritated. How can trying to irritate him get out of his crown chakra? And then it's just like type shit. So that being said, whatever, like I said, whatever soundproof is, you feel me, people don't understand, comprehend. I like the way I said it in the post. I just don't remember exactly how I read it type shit as I'm troubleshooting. So like I said, I'm troubleshooting. Everything that's coming out of my mouth is troubleshooted. So I'm like this, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? This is what troubleshooting means. And I'm just, and it's just, but it's not like, you know, I did it sound like that. No, it's like, and people's like, he ain't gonna get out of that. But they sense it like, or sending me to ripping, and he ain't gonna get out. That shit gonna ricochet back off each other, and it's gonna have them stuck. They just, and we just still waiting for that shit to go, and then become a hoodie. But now, okay, so that being said, ancestral time minus yellow pages information equals backbone of the truth. And we get to the dilemma of no gravity and gravity and understanding, like I said about the crown chakra and telepathy, why I got up and I didn't do nothing, I just stood there. Because the crown chakras of other people are watching. So I'd rather have crown chakra viewers. I'd rather be the leader of the Z's with the generation Z indigos or in indigos in general than have a social media full with the root chakra ass niggas. So that being said, that's how the light crumbles. So that being said, because in the beginning I showed my first impression. So now the emphasis is on life is organized rioting. Okay, like this is serious. What I just explained, ancestral time minus yellow page information goes backbone of the truth. Like the rabbit hole. In the end, you're one of the rabbit hole. You get what I'm saying? Everything was explained. It's the Webb and Eben high school where the rabbit hole is at now that makes people yellow page and have to get hospitalized, mental, physical, or spiritual, or metaphysical, or etc. So that being said, my situation is people's crown chakra. People are only in their crown chakras like powers. They're not in their crown chakras to develop powers. You know what I'm saying? You being in your crown chakra develops telepathy. You feel me? Develops you speaking with your energy and being able to make an invisible text. You feel me? If you just like, someone could tell you sad, you feel me? You might not have your whole crown on, but you're wearing your crown a little bit to be able to give off that energy. So the rabbit hole, the world is, like I said, for year one, the Rangers, and then leap year happened. Year one, I mean, void one of the for their situation was told multi-dimensional is connected. Essential time minus yellow page information equals backbone of truth. So now that's the party. The party is to know what I just said. You feel me? So, you know that, you know what I'm saying, is just messing with a crown. That's all people want to do is mess with other people's crowns. So it's a party. Void one is the ultimate party. People died. They got kicked out of void one. Went to void two. People died in void two. Went to void three. People died in void three. Went to void four and etc. of root crown type shit. So that being understood, whatever void we are on now, and I think it's higher than national debt, so that's time is a stopwatch type shit, like I've been saying. So whatever void it is, ancestral time minus the yellow page information of that void equals the backbone of the truth of that void. But people like I said in void one, when it was void one, it was understood those principles count as rich nigga shit, you feel me? So if you can only live Flintstones, you can only live Flintstones. But if you can live on that tesseract way, you live on that tesseract way. So then Void 2 came about, and it's not Void 10 when the military Pangea is a theory. You feel me? It's a synchronization of time has gone this long for Void 1. Void 2 only started this, but a leap year happened, so we got Void 2 gets 2 dimensions. Void 3, you know what I'm saying? How numerology, 0-1 coding and decoding avoids. That's how big the multidimensional world is, and why people don't care about dying type shit. Like they'll die in their dreams and don't give a fuck. So that being said, as they think that's energy or money, I said energy, that is energy. They think that's money, right? So, whatever void where Mr. Miyagi of the military had to go to the grocery store because Void 1, you can get wax on, wax off, and 2 Void, infinity beyond. So now this, you feel me? Now it's kind of like Void 1 again because, history repeats and it's a natural disaster of how none comes together. And people haven't forgot Mr. Miyagi taught them wax, but they're forgetting they're in a natural disaster in inverted ocean, you feel me, in sky. So now they're coming to this void year 1 or whatever, and they wouldn't dare get out their bed and go straight to the cupboard without, brushing their teeth. But for all the voids they would, you feel me, been in, they like, well, I can go in the cupboard and grab and then go brush my teeth. You feel me? So they done changed up, and that changed the whole synchronicity they had with the other voids. You get what I'm saying? Because they were supposed to do that. They just show you how wide they're like multidimensional. Everything happens at the same time, sometimes, and it's something different. But they make it sound like it's just like an after image. It's not existence, or after image isn't existence. You feel me? Why I use that word? So that being said, after you feel me, Mr. Miyagi had to go to the store, and Void 5 people are understanding. You feel me? Void to the power of 5 people are understanding Mr. Miyagi is gonna go to the store. You know what I'm saying? So now niggas is saying you feel me? I'm become the highest ranked chief while Mr. Miyagi's at the store. So now they're trying to kill Mr. Miyagi because they're gonna say, well, what time is it? We gotta do the math of the time because we might have jurisdiction or some shit. And it's just like, but Mr. Miyagi made the game. You can't take the game away from the maker. And then they say, who said I can't? The war you lost and only doing organized rioting. The fuck? So that being said, as words to me are names. We get the dilemma of where we're at right now in the void. A lot of Army football doesn't have not one first overall draft pick. You feel me? Military football and basketball, and people know me for all that other shit. You feel me? Where it's, like I said, soundproof. So, you know, it's all politic. You feel me? Everything that's soundproof is politics. That, since I can't remember exactly, so that's the best way to goddamn do it, do it, do it. Okay, so that being said, people's like, okay, but we just get rid of them, make some terrorists. Okay, but we're in a void where people don't understand, where we're not having space between the tesseracts. So if you kill somebody, the spot where the bullet was matrixed, you feel me, dotted type, you feel me, diagram type to go through the humidity control. Yeah, when it hit that person's body and their aura's been doing this, you know what I'm saying, and the sky upside down has been doing this, so when it hit their body, the sky and the little water in the air and their aura shatter their whole body. But the way the voice is set up, natural disaster mythology wise, they can show back up. So now there has to be a whole, you feel me, within, without. What has to give has to go, or what has to go, or something has to give in general statement, will cause a cold red liquid, as we are like robots, engine. So that being said, now it's a whole natural disaster that's gonna wrap this person in this loop of living. Like, you feel me? Me touching myself, it's a ripple effect. I keep in mind those little things. You get what I'm saying? So that being said, the rabbit hole is at a point where niggas, where we're in a void of a void. So you know how you be like pizza on Fridays, and you know some people wasn't going to go get pizza on Friday, and out of nowhere everybody's getting pizza. That's how the void happened. You feel me? That's how Ukraine is getting bombed. You feel me? It's on a deeper scale, because you know I'm not starting to joke with shit like this. To be like, oh, it's that simple. It's simple because I have the diagram to help keep it simplistic. It's not easy. It's obviously all going to be easier said than done. So that being said, as I keep saying, that being said, the rabbit hole is a situation of fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And because the person, you feel me, because in the end, it wasn't the person, you feel me, fool me. The saying means, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Don't, you feel me? That's all it means. But, you know, if I had extra to it, you get what I'm saying? Then we get the same means, don't judge me for giving you the benefit of the doubt. You can judge me when I give you the benefit of the doubt twice for the same subject. And people, so, you know, whenever your one got co-read and the consistency thereof from this void, people's in 1995, since, you know, that soundproof to claim certain shit, soundproof telepathy, crown chakra on, that's really just it. The atmosphere explains it. But I just really trying to illustrate what rabbit hole means in me troubleshooting. So that means whatever come out my mouth, this is the lowest frequency of what everybody said we understood. So a little high frequency will have that swag. You feel me? The high frequency statement of we understood, troubleshooting will have, you feel me? It won't really be for troubleshooting. in general, be for troubleshooting the younger generation and then everybody thereof. So I'm troubleshooting in general as the type of genius I am. And the problem is from year one, void one, into this time hasn't stopped. We have been living a life of understanding. So people took their understanding and made the military made the number one workout program that's in a whole nother void. Not one first overall prospect. First African quarterback came from Virginia. The first overall. Yeah, I get what I'm saying. Like, that shit is a whole goddamn message. And that's what I'm serious about explaining. That's why I went live to explain. Because, it's multiple dilemmas. But the main thing is the understanding that if you get punched in the face in this time continuum of existence, it was premeditated from how many times they've tried and didn't work. Type of zombie matrix glitch, monster suit type, not giving up, inferno, you feel me, unstoppable. What happens when unstoppable meets unmovable? They surrender. And that's what linear breaching is. You feel me? Linear breaching is... Oh, excuse me. I said, we know what linear breaching is, but the job to control linear breaching is the saying, what happens when an unmovable object meets an unstoppable force? They surrender. So then, you feel me? I just gave y'all the news. You feel me? The top news, the top crown chakra news of the world. The construction work, obviously, is top news, and then the stopping the linear breaching of them trying to play with it is the top. And what happens when an unmovable object meets an unstoppable force? They surrender. So, that being said, I want to end it at that kind of, but I think I have more time, so we can, I got a lot of time. So, that being said, how things correlate is people not respecting people's crown chakras. So, in the end, your root chakra is you want to survive. You get what I'm saying? Your next chakra is feeling comfortable with your survival. Your next chakra is, I want to say, everyone is feeling comfortable with what the next thing does for each other. You feel me? Yin yang. So you feel me? Like I said, the root chakra is surviving. And so the crown chakra is feeling comfortable. I want to say, which is it your thyroid, your throat chakra is the second to last. Makes sense, don't it? But yeah, so that being said, no, I did not read this in the book. This is straight up a sapiosexual. Expanding his IQ and would love to tell people more information and understanding and troubleshooting, even if they do understand, because that's what sometimes it is. You just needed to get troubleshooted for, like video games, where you play a video game and you know how to shoot a gun, but you shoot it and they're like, no. That's, that's called troubleshooting. So that being said, obviously, if troubleshooting has a big benefit, the ones that don't benefit are going to attack the most purest job in existence. So, that's where addicts come in and things like that. But the main thing is we got to cross is job to control linear breaching is the same what happens when an unmovable object meets an unstoppable force. They surrender. And that's the party that's explaining. That's how you can stay connected from Void 1, which I say is the life of the party. You know what I'm saying? That energy. And then ancestral time minus yellow pages, information equals backbone of the truth. So that means from Void 1 to now, you feel me? Where they be like, read things carefully. It's a message from an angel. And then no gravity. That's explaining of we can be in no gravity on Earth. It's just we don't have the technology to do that to see up the gravity. From Void 1 to this void, and every newborn void, they're going to start as Void 1 started, as Void 1 keeps its compound of a Mercury state and its golden state and gravitational pulls thereof. In a rabbit hole, we gotta understand it's a synonymous word for void. At the same time, explaining the medium that will make it get called a void. And then a tesseract is from no gravity to gravity, and telepathy is the representation of making an account on an app, if not your own. That's why everybody's crown is different. How multidimensional correlates with the rabbit hole is what I'll explain about numerology and the math of what has to give goes and something has to give and what's written with without, which makes the beginning of time in danger of a natural disaster because it has to go through its own osmosis when it sacrifices its osmosis to the other numerologies that are trying to represent that first numerology that makes the statement of multidimensional living. And so what we have here is life is not about this energy from that person's crown chakra. That person's watching TV and they think their crown chakra is the shit because they're lazy and jealous of everybody else that's accomplished more with their crown chakra. So in those they can say their crown chakra is the shit if they feel their crown chakra shit and they on that level. So now they'll walk around as a skunk and possum, kamikaze, golden snitch, rat type, monkey see, monkey do, cosplaying, dressing up as, you feel me, like I said, skunk and possum type, and play dummy and walk around with the energy. I'm jealous of your crown chakra. And that's what the walls have ears mean. You feel me? If you peek somewhere and then go somewhere and sit, they gonna be, even if you don't sit, because if it's a party type frequencies of crown chakras, which I am in a grave shift, but they trying to act like it's a party, but it is what it is. Yeah, I dig what I'm saying. So that being said, we are here to better our lives, okay? Nothing else on this plan. But yeah, that's true. So now that we understand what troubleshooting means, everything that's coming out my mouth has been the lowest frequency, but the best words said. And my words that wasn't brings out the lowest frequency, but still the best words said. Not lower people, but not people are not taking it and taking off. Like if I talk a different way, like I said, which is soundproof. Another reason why I'm not talking that way. So you feel me? The walls have ears, but if it's soundproof, they gonna act like they don't know. Now, that's Detective Webpoolz, a class on chronological time, which is you make what you want out of it. If you go to McDonald's and you order a McChicken, you did not make what you want out of the world. You made what you want out of someone else's world. And you're welcome. Because if I go to someone else's world, I'm going to say thank you. And I'm going to say I made what I could out of their world. I'm not going to be claiming that's my bitch. She let me finesse like that or some shit. So, that being understood, like I said about rabbit hole and party and such time as people, yellow page information. I keep saying because it's just those simple things. And what I just said is just an and in the atmosphere for people's crown chakras. You get what I'm saying? So that being said, you get what I'm saying? That being known, like, I'm trying to equilibrium. Ukraine is not, you feel me? This atmosphere is worse than I got your crown chakras, all right. I know Atlantean. I know I said Ukraine, but I could. So I just want y'all to hear the atmosphere tell me what I was going to say. Okay. So that being said, because that's some shit. And then, because whatever I was going to say was soundproof, so it's going to be put me in some other colors. Yeah. So the world going on. We're moving. The Earth is moving. Life is a spaceship. Zozie Station. As we move forward, as we move forward in the world, we get the whole context that there's stuff that need to be unraveled, and then history repeats, so it could be the same present. But things go out one ear and out the other. The main thing I'm just trying to illustrate is I'm troubleshooting. And the job to control a near breach and what happens when an unmovable object meets an unstoppable force. They surrender. So the surrender comes in with the understanding of people's crown chakras and watching multiple parties. So now they in their crown chakra going in their root chakra, and then it's that. And when they get hospitalized, once they finally meet something that they feel like protects their root chakra, they back in their crown chakra. And then when they feel like they don't have nothing that really protects their crown chakra, you feel me, they just repeat, but they just go back to their root chakra and repeat and stay in that samsara till they can play with their ego to feel like they got something to protect their root chakra. And that's how the world works. So say that I go to LA Fitness. What happens when an unmovable object meets an unstoppable force? They surrender. So now I have to make an unstoppable force that they want to play with, and they don't want to play with none of my unstoppable force. So now they're in limbo as an unmovable object. So I'm just on the court dodging humidity control. And that's what no gravity, and gravity also is for, to understand tesseract. So, you feel me? Okay, now I go to the store. Now, I walk in the store just like anybody don't want attention, you feel me? But it started echoing sound was soundproof for me. So now what happens when an unmovable object meets an unstoppable force? They surrender. But then we get the predicament where Zemain curses. I make all these unstoppable forces. You feel me? I'm my own unstoppable force. So let's just all the above, all being an unmovable object. I'm like, you're dead. That can you stop yourself? If a car engine dies, the wheels will still go. So, that being said, Ancestral Timeline is Yellow Page information. I know people thought I was about to elaborate more on Yellow Page, but that's understood. So, that being said, as I'm Ancient Pirate Gladiator, I just wanted that because that was soundproof. And y'all can play with saying that shit ain't real. All you want. That's where court come from. So now, let's give a rundown for I end. What we understand is what's linear is a message from Void One, and this is not Void One because it wouldn't be an empty canvas of space. It would be more for a crown chakra with telepathy, because Void One been along to develop that. So from Void One, war ended. I'm gonna put an asterisk just to put speed without saying the speed, soundproof. Technology existed in year one. Okay. And you can see how old existence is from when it was counted. Okay? Now, and then after So, that's the core logical of the world, you feel me? Because not to get away from saying there was the Trail of Tears and then there was Fires, you feel me? Oh, this was a good guy, that was a bad, you feel me? Get away from that, just explain Void 1, you feel me? Existed in the beginning of time, war ended, asterisk, on its speed. And so we know it's organized rioting now for any other Void. Technology existed in year 1, and you could see how old existence is from when it was counted. You feel me? So that's Void 1, okay? That's the beginning of time. That's the beginning. So every other Void correlates to that situation. You feel me? So, when they say the answer's coming back, there's people come back from Void 1 ready to go to school of Voids. So, we gonna end it at that. That's the core logical life. Battleships is going on for when we kick that tornado, and then I know it start doing subtle shit, but the tornado's still going, so you get what I'm saying? And that's how it is. So we about to end on what happens when an unmovable object meets an unstoppable force. You leave me the fuck alone, but I'm gonna make more motherfucking unstoppable forces. So let's wait. But you're gonna have the money because you gotta pay for it. Let's wait.